Boisson basic pour détoxifier vos poumons naturellement. Method. In the present video you will figure out how to set up a juice to assist with killing irritation from your lungs and recuperate them normally. Have you at any point discussed the advantages of onions for the lungs? We as of late discuss 7 food sources that are great for the lungs, including onions. Wealthy in cancer prevention agents, the onion has significant activities that reinforce our resistant framework. What's more, forestall constant infections, colds and influenza. It likewise safeguards us against cellular breakdown in the lungs. Onions can be utilized in servings of mixed greens, juices or as syrup. It serves to decongest the respiratory lot, rapidly dispensing with steady hacks and mucus. You can get ready onion juice at home to battle colds and influenza in grown-ups and kids. Be that as it may, it isn't suggested for infants and youngsters under 1 year old because of the presence. Honey. Honey is utilized in this recipe on account of its germ-free, cancer prevention agent, expectorant and alleviating. It additionally assists with reinforcing our body's normal protection framework, battling infections and microbes. Onion contains quercetin, which helps battle colds, influenza, tonsillitis, asthma normally. Also, sensitivities. Together, these fixings take out mucus and assist us with recuperating quicker. As yet discussing onions, it contains quercetin, a cancer prevention agent that helps the resistant framework. Works on the body's response to outer hostilities and forestalls infections and microbes. To enter and disturb constant issues, like asthma and bronchitis. Onion additionally has calming properties which work on bronchial limiting and subsequently work with relaxing. Mind-blowing, correct? Do you like the video? So give it a like and offer it with your companions to help the channel. Note the fixings. 1 medium red onion, 13.5 ounces of water. 1 lemon, 1 teaspoon of honey. Blend everything in a blender and drink just later. You can do this 2 times every day, once toward the beginning of the day and once in the early evening. Drink for a long time and perceive how your irritation, throbs and breathing improve during this time. Other ways. Instructions to eliminate poisons from your lungs the regular way. In this article, improve generally speaking well-being, diminish ecological dangers, inhale better, assess elective medicines, and find out about dangers to lung well-being 22 references. It is critical to safeguard the lungs to guarantee their drawn-out well-being. Over the long haul, foreign poisons and microscopic organisms can debilitate well-being and lead to lethal and irreversible infections, like constant obstructive pneumonic illness, COPD. Luckily, there are a few normal cures that assist you with keeping your lungs sound and breathing well. Steps. Section 1 Improving general well-being. 1. Eat food sources wealthy in cancer prevention agents. A solid eating regimen in every day assists with expanding the strength of the lungs, and food varieties wealthy in cell reinforcements are especially demonstrated in this sense. It has been demonstrated that cancer prevention agents reinforce the lung limit and further develop the patient's breathing quality. Blueberries, broccoli, spinach, grapes, yams, green tea, and fish are especially wealthy in cancer prevention agents. Do actual work. Assuming that you work out routinely, permit your lungs to work at their greatest limit. You ought to plan to do the accompanying. No less than 30 minutes of moderate high-impact movement, like strolling, swimming, or golf, 4 to 5 times each week. Instead, you ought to get no less than 25 minutes of oxygen-consuming activity, like running, cycling, or b-ball. No less than 3 days every week. 3. Stop smoking. Tobacco smoke is a significant reason for COPD, persistent obstructive pneumonic infection, emphysema and cellular breakdown in the lungs. The poisons in cigarettes harm and disturb the bronchial cylinders, making breathing troublesome. To safeguard the lungs, don't consider supplanting cigarettes with tobacco items that don't create smoke, like biting or breathing in, as they increment the gamble of oral malignant growth, as well as causing gum sickness, tooth rot and disease. Pancreas. E-cigarettes are likewise hurtful to lung well-being. Late examinations have shown that the fragrances in these cigarettes contain a harmful compound called diacetyl. This substance is related with bronchiolitis constrictive, an uncommon and deadly type of ongoing obstructive pneumonic illness, COPD, that is irreversible, in which the bronchi are compacted and squashed by scarred tissue or potentially irritation. If you have any desire to detoxify your lungs, you need to utilize no kind of tobacco item. Section 2 of Reducing Environmental Hazards. 1. Attend very much ventilated regions. Ensure the conditions you're in most frequently, similar to the room you work in your home, have great air course. While working with risky materials, for example, paint exhaust, building site residue, or synthetic medicines and hair colors, you ought to guarantee that there is satisfactory ventilation or that you safeguard yourself with suitable hardware, for example, a residue cover or respirator. Make certain to turn on vacuums and open windows to permit natural air to circle. Consider wearing a respirator while working in little spaces. In the event that you need to clean with brutal synthetic compounds, for example, dye, ensure the windows in the room are open and ensure you can pass on the space to give the lungs a break. Try not to blend fade in with smelling salts. These two substances cause a harmful fume, chloramine, that makes harm the mucus films of the lungs. Try not to light an oven or wood-consuming oven inside, as they might produce poisons destructive to the lungs. Think about aversions to plants. A few plants discharge spores, dust, and other likely aggravations very high. Ensure your home plants don't add to your lung issue. Use HEPA channels. To assist your lungs with remaining sound, you ought to pick this kind of filtration to take out fine particles and allergens in the air. Airborne air purifiers are not powerful for decreasing allergens and other fine substances from the climate, and can once in a while bother the lungs. Section 3 of 3, Breathe Better. Figure out how to appropriately relax. One of the most incredible approaches to normally fortify the lungs is to appropriately relax. Breathe in from the stomach, growing and pushing the muscles of the lower mid-region. On exhalation, the muscles ought to get back to the beginning position. Breathing through the stomach, dissimilar to the throat, builds the limit of the lungs and makes them more grounded.